Chainsaw Man fans, did you miss me? Because I missed you. However, we're back. I'm going to start trying to get out videos weekly for this just because, it's a long time we gotta wait, Tatsuki. However, Chapter 103, following Denji's appearance in Chapter 102, not so surprising if you ask me, we are getting a look into his influence on society following Chainsaw Man Part 1, along with the influence that entire set of events that occurred in Chainsaw Man Part 1 had on Denji. So let's get straight into this next chapter of Chainsaw Man. So the first chapter of Part 2 had already outlined for us this idea that devils, especially the Chainsaw Man in particular, are very polarizing to society. Certain people love him, such as the class president was eating on the Chainsaw Man kuri bun, enjoying just the idea of Chainsaw Man as a whole. And then there was other people such as Asamitaka, who obviously, didn't like the Chainsaw Man, thought that he was just another part of society that is just showing that we're going on a downward spiral. And during this chapter, the day after the whole incident with Chainsaw Man defeating the cockroach devil, saving the cat, we get to see what society's talking about now. We pan through several panels here. Folks are wearing Chainsaw Man merch. Hollywood tourist vendors are trying to scam everybody, selling this discounted Chainsaw Man memorabilia. And there's even a blimp which reads, Chainsaw Man is a man-eating devil. And through all of this, we can already see that there's just the differing opinions on Chainsaw Man. That not everybody agrees with the fact that Chainsaw Man is a good person, somebody fighting for the greater good. Some people are putting into world that this idea that Chainsaw Man is a man-eating devil, which we know is not true. The only time we've seen him take blood from civilians is just, to power himself up, that they were completely offering to him. But there's also a newscast going on, and in this newscast, this woman is talking about everything that occurred the day beforehand, Chainsaw Man's incident defeating the cockroach devil, and she kind of wants to survey the crowd, hear from the people what the real opinions of, civilians, of society are. And we see a lot of differing opinions here. Some people love the Chainsaw Man and his wild actions, turning a blind eye to this side of him. Some are upset about the real world issues that he causes, such as destroying property. And some are just completely upset with the fact that, he's popular on their incel energy. But overall, he's a very polarizing figure, which makes sense for any sort of infamous figure who's in society. You're always going to garner opinions which are positive towards you and which are negative towards you. However, Chainsaw Man's an interesting factor with this because he's a devil at the end of the day. Even the news reporter who was reporting on him said the devil human Chainsaw Man. Not the human devil, the devil human. Just sort of heading home on this fact that Denji, or whoever the Chainsaw Man is a devil first in some respect. And we do see how this comes through for society. Some people are mad about, the classic sort of racist things. They're taking away jobs from devil hunters. Some people are just upset about the real world implications that he leaves behind, hurting people, hurting property, anything in that sort. And some people don't give a damn. They're just here for the gore, the action, the blowing shit up. But there's one guy we see at the end, and I don't recognize him. Maybe you guys do? Tell me if you do. However, here's what he says. If you ask me, Chainsaw Man hasn't even eaten that cat. And at my school, everybody loves Chainsaw Man. He's great, right? The chainsaws are gore-tastic. But that's what's so cool about him. Not that I know the dude, but I bet he's a seriously great guy. And by the way, just my guess, but Chainsaw Man's number is, and as this random dude, maybe Denji? I don't know. As this random guy Denji gets cut off by the news reporter saying, dude, don't try to give your number out on camera. He kind of just rattled by all of this attention which is being garnered by the idea of Chainsaw Man. And I bet you he doesn't even hear through the weeds. He doesn't care about the people who are saying all the negative opinions about him. He's just thinking about all these women who have his name in his mouth, about all these people saying Chainsaw Man is dope. He's so cool. He's crazy. He's wild. That's all Denji cares about. And that's all Denji's cared about since Part 1. Since back in Part 1, whenever he saw himself up on that screen, saw millions or hundreds of thousands of people screaming for him, chanting on Chainsaw Man, cheering on the idea that he was the hunter, the savior of society. He's loved that, and he's wanted to revel within that glory because Denji had never had that before. Denji had grown up in this way where, he was just fighting to survive. He didn't have an idea of who Denji was. Denji was just a puppet to be fed and preserved. But then Denji became the Chainsaw Man. This idea of somebody who is highly regarded by society, even with the negative opinions towards him. He's infamous at the end of the day. Everybody knows who he is. He's got a large name. He's got a large brand. And he kind of wanted that. He wanted to revel within that glory. And as he sits there, literally reveling within the fact that these people are cheering on and chanting on the name Chainsaw Man, just looking to the sky, reveling in the light, Yoshida appears. And although Denji doesn't immediately recognize Yoshida, even after mentioning the entire assassin situation which he went through, Denji kind of gets acquiesced into meeting up with him just because Yoshida offers this man a bite to eat and Denji's broke. Although Yoshida begins their conversation trying to, small talk things and act a little bit ignorant to the situation which is going on, he can't blow away all the coincidences which are lining up. The school clothes that he's wearing being the same as Denji's, along with the fact that he just met up with him right here on this day, especially after the entire assassin situation. Denji might be dumb, but he's not too dumb, so Yoshida kind of cuts the crap. Yoshida ends up telling Denji that, I belong to an organization that's tasked me with keeping an eye on you. It's not an evil organization. Our goal is simply to ensure that you live a peaceful life. And Denji doesn't really seem to care. Denji kind of just ignores it, asks if he can order some more food, a creme caramel, custard or some shit. It was funny, he couldn't even pronounce it. In this whole conversation, I was kind of giggling to myself, just like, I feel you, Denji. Like, bro's just a school student at this point, not trying to get caught up in any of this bullshit. But Yoshida kind of needs him to listen to him right now. He tells Denji, I'll be in trouble if the public finds out you're Chainsaw Man. And he even threatens him that he won't feed him his cake, any of this delectable, delicious, amazing treats which he just ordered, if he doesn't follow his orders. And this kind of psychs Denji out. He's like, God damn it, dude, what? Eats all the food, trying to just be a dickhead. I love me some Denji action, just an absolute dummy of the bunch. And we're just sitting here just like, why does Yoshida want him to not become out as Chainsaw Man? Especially, I'll get to it at the end of the video more, but who is behind this organization? Because who actually knows who Chainsaw Man is? But Denji's throwing his little tantrum as Yoshida tells him, I need you to listen to me. We can't have you coming out as Chainsaw Man anymore because it's going to cause us a lot of problems. And as he's doing this to him, he even asked Denji, I know you're not the best dude, you're not an altruistic guy, you're not somebody who's fighting for some greater good. Why do you want to be Chainsaw Man? Why do you keep doing this? Which even elaborates on the fact, opens up the fact that everything that Denji's been doing post the events of Chainsaw Man Part 1 has all been on his own. He's been doing that solely to garner more attention and more interest in Chainsaw Man. Whether the acts, go through making people upset with Chainsaw Man doesn't really matter to him. He just wants to continue to get the name, the idea of Chainsaw Man out to the public. And his reason for fighting makes so much sense. I felt him in my heartstrings right here. Denji ends up telling Yoshida, I fight because I want people to find out that I'm Chainsaw Man. And he's like, wait, what? Yoshida's a bit confused right here. And he's like, yeah, dude, once the secret's out, the ladies will be all over me. And Yoshida just is like, can't even speak. And I felt Yoshida and Denji right here. Like I said earlier, Denji is coming from the gutter. He's coming from the bottom. And he knows that, with his social skills, with the way he works, it's not going to be that simple for him to get a woman. But the easiest way for him to do it, to get all of them, to get everything in the world he wants, not even the women, the money, the fame, the everything, is for him to just reveal one thing. I'm Chainsaw Man. Simple as that. He could become any and everything he wants to be, even though he's not thinking about the repercussions of, the assassins coming after him, about devils coming after him. All of these other things that we experience in Chainsaw Man Part 1 just due to the fact that the Chainsaw Devil's back on Earth. He just doesn't care. He wants to just, be that. He wants to be the Chainsaw Man at heart. He wants to come out in public as that, and I feel him. But I also feel Yoshida because apparently, not apparently, just think about it. Yoshida probably gets girls. He probably get the girls, dog. He's a good looking guy. He's swaggy. He's a smart dude. He's physically fit and shit. He's probably easily getting girls. Even though Asami Tako, was obviously been taken over by Yoru and shit. The fact that a woman would come up to him, he carries the conversation, ask him out, just shows that, He a smooth dude. He on his smooth boy shit. Like, he knows how to carry a conversation. He knows how to get things done in that alley of life. And he probably doesn't know what it feels like to be in Denji's shoes. To be this awkward loser kid with not too many friends and shit. Probably we don't really know how many friends Denji's got, but just thinking about it in reality. He's a weird dude. He doesn't know anything. He'd never been to school beforehand, and he's probably just in a crappy situation right now. He'd rather be Chainsaw Man than being just a student. Who cares about that? But that leads me to two things. Unless they falsely procure a woman, illicitly purchasing that, which I don't think we're gonna get to see in Chainsaw Man. Doesn't really sound like something Shonen Jump is putting on their platform. Or if Yoshida introduces Denji to Asa, thinking that Asa is either a kind of she'll go for anybody type of girl, or if she's just an awkward girl, the type of girl that you could easily get to talk to somebody, coach him up a little bit, and then Yoshida becomes a relationship coach type shit. That would be freaking hilarious. That would be funny. But I don't know. The last thing I wanted to mention though, the organization. So who is behind this organization, and are all of their intentions meaningful? Because obviously there's not too many people who know who Chainsaw Man is. After the events of Chainsaw Man Part 1, we'll just put them all into coalescence. There was only so many people who knew that Denji himself was Chainsaw Man, and that fact even began to get hidden very early on in the series. The assassin arc started relatively early on, and after that, Denji's self was hidden from everybody. Not many people knew who the Chainsaw Devil was. So it's got to be somebody up there, I guess, to say, somebody we've seen who didn't die. So I was thinking potentially Kishibe, just since we haven't heard from and or seen of him yet. However, that's the only way it's completely a good organization. But I think Kishibe is watching over the Control Devils, so I'm not really sure if he's doing that alongside protecting Denji from behind the scenes. But I don't know. A really action-packed, jam-packed chapter of Chainsaw Man. Drop a comment if you enjoyed it, my friends. But gotta edit this one. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And Tatsuki Fujimoto, I'll see you in 2 weeks, but I'll try to see y'all next week. Hasta luego, amigos.